New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Good morning and welcome to another edition of Morning Prayers. I'm your host, Rev Z, and as always, it's my pleasure to be here with you to engage in the sacred art of prayer and to raise our vibrations to the level of the divine. Happy weekend to everyone. It's a glorious day. The sun is coming out. It is refreshing and it opens up a heart space for me that allows me to see beyond sight, to feel beyond hands, and to intuit into what the divine is saying to me at this very moment. And so I trust that that everyone has great plans for the weekend. And as I was looking at prayer today, I thought about that very idea of intuition, that inspiration, that spark of the divine that allows us to know something without even knowing how. And as I look around and I look at all of the conditions and the way we've been created in our current environment, the mind has been placed as the captain of the ship. And that's okay in some times, but the challenge with that is we have to figure it all out. And by the time we figure it out, we may have missed a moment. And so when we begin to understand intuition and what it is and how it works and what it provides us, that does not say we forget the mind, but we lean heavily on the intuition. But to do that, we have to do the first primal thing or the primary thing, and that is we have to quiet our mind. It says a quiet mind is able to hear intuition over fear. To hear that intuition over fear. And often when we think about the decisions that we need to make in our life, regardless to which atmosphere or what environment we need to act upon, we begin to be fearful that we might make a mistake or that we don't have enough information or whatever that case might be. But once we can quiet the mind, we're able to hear the voice of God. We're able to feel the energetic inspiration of the divine. And so when we're able to do that, we're able to step into that space that Albert Einstein brought up, that I think capsulized this idea of living in a divine field of intuition, where we begin to utilize this great tool called the mind, but be able to understand how intuition fits in. And so here it is. He says this: the intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and forgets the gift. We are honoring the servant, but we're forgetting the gift. And it's now time for us to remember the gift, to accentuate the gift and raise it high, so that when we have that gift become available to us, we can pass it on to that servant, that faithful servant, which is the rational mind that allows us to work through that intuitive moment and make things happen. And so as we look at the world today and our personal lives and how they're unfolding, we need this idea of inspiration more than ever, of intuition, which is the divine spark of God that allows us to move in a way that is supportive of life, that is supportive of who and what we are. And so with that in mind, I'm going to leave this quote up and go into prayer so that we can begin to unlock that gift that is in each and every one of us so that we can begin to support each other and love each other in a way that is evolutionary and revolutionary in how we act and feel and work with each other. So right here, right now, let's just take a breath. And step into that silent moment. That moment where intuition lives. And because we know that intuition is the spark of the divine, that it is the language of God, that it is that thing that is running throughout the universe that sparks creativity and activates magical divine sources. We allow ourselves to acknowledge and to bear witness to the fact that we are the essence of that thing, that spark of the divine, that inspiration of courage, that upliftment of knowledge, that feeling of the divine spirit that is moving through each and every one of us. And we are awakening to that now and saying yes. As we continue to step into the silence, as we continue to remember who we are, as we continue to allow the God-given talents and gifts that are planted with each and every one of us to be activated by the Spirit, we begin to say yes to life and to listen to God and to say we are here on divine purpose to allow our genius, to allow our superpowers, to allow our advocating for life to come forth. And I know this is true for each and everyone on this call, and for those that may join this call later, that they are activated in a spirit of love, in a spirit of understanding, in a spirit of courage to lead a life and to be an example of how life should be led when we allow God to be the guiding force, that intuitive spark. And so with that, I know right here, right now, that each and every one of us are stepping into the magnificent glory of who we are. That the divine inspiration that lies within our hearts and is connected to the faithful servant of the mind, we are moving forward with ideas of restitution and repair and upliftment and joy and celebration and all the things that create a life worth living. Knowing that on the path of higher vision, we are going up and down to reach that destination. But we know that each step, whether it's a soft step or a hard step, is preparing us for the glory of that vision. And so right now, I give thanks for each and every one of us for the vision that we have, for the vision that we're currently creating for a life that works for all. And so with that, I give thanks knowing that the inspiration of the divine and the willingness of each and every one of us to listen is all that we need to. And so it is in that thanksgiving that I release this prayer to a law that is infallible, to a law that takes all things of like kind and raise them to a higher level of visibility and activation in our lives and throughout the world. And so with that, I declare this moment to be precious, to be blessed, to be empowered, and that law has already taken this idea, this prayer, this understanding, and manifested in ways we are yet to see. And so with that, I release, I let go, and I know that it is so. And so it is. Amen. And so it is. Amen. And so I thank you for being here today. And I want you to remember that your intuition is your superpower. It's your superpower. So So grab it. We're in an age of superheroes. We keep seeing new movies from Marvel and DC and all these characters, even on both sides of the spectrum, using their intuitive powers for good. So let's do the same. And so, as always, we want to thank you for being here. And if you have any prayers, please send your prayers to prayer@ntmedia.org. And someone on the prayer team, in fact, all of us on the prayer team, will send some divine healing, light, and inspiration to that person, place, thing, or situation that need healing, revealing, or celebrating. So please send your prayers to prayer@ntmedia.org. And as always, we lovingly and graciously accept your donations, because that is what keeps us on the air. So please continue to support New Thought Media Network by going to www.newthoughtmedia.org and press the donate button to continue to support. And so just so gracious that everyone is here today. I hope that there's something that has sparked your curiosity about investigating this whole idea of intuition, about how you know things without even knowing how, that all of the information bits that God has allowed the great servant of the mind together, and for that inspiration to, in a moment, put the puzzle together so you see the light. And so I want to say, go out, find a place, sit in the stillness, and allow God to speak to you. And so have a wonderful day. I pray that everyone is having a gracious plan for the weekend. I know I am, and I am looking forward to communicating with the divine. So with that, I bid you peace, and so it is. Amen.